Should record this. Welcome everybody on YouTube. We just started this. So here we go. You have just started your pro streaming career. This is officially day one of my pro internet career. And
congratulations.
We're here to thank you so much. We're here together. What is our plan? I think we have an idea. What is our idea?
Well, I think the plan is just to fly by the seat of our pants, which is, real good considering, the craziness that has been November. It was basically like 2 months ago now? We were like, oh, we should totally do a thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
let's do a thing. And then we just didn't talk about it again until this morning.
No. So here's exactly what happened. I'm on my honeymoon in Jamaica. This was right about the time that I figured out a way, because they're very, very good at Sandals at not letting you, because they know you're going to want to drink all day, that not letting you get crazy drunk. They're doing it for your own good in like watering down all the drinks that they're giving you. Unless you specifically learn the language to tell them like, no ice, number one, number two, a double, and number three, you start to tell them the other rums that you want that aren't just like their stock rums that they give you. So it was in the middle of all this, and I'm like, oh, I got these ideas, man. And one of the ideas is like, oh my God, it'd be so fun to do a month-long co-stream with Joss, because you're somebody that I've certainly known, and I've been a fan of Angry Chicken and everything, but like Garrett, I've spent a fair amount of time with in person. Dills, I'm lucky enough to have for the time being living in my geographic area, so I see him and we stream periodically, but I haven't really gotten a chance to stream with you. So the idea was, and I feverishly am DMing you while I'm like, just wasted in Jamaica, and I'm like, dude, we need to do a stream for a month, right? Where we are our each other's support system in our effort to go as far into the Hearthstone legend echelons that we can. Because that was the first, I don't know if you know this, the first episodes that I was listening to of The Angry Chicken was you on your initial Joss to Legend push.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that was such a huge part of my Angry Chicken fandom. And I'm like, oh my God. So here we go. How far did you get on Joss to Legend? That first hashtagging Joss to Legend.
I got so close. I ended up, I think, rank 3. And the highest I'd been previous to that was I think 16. So it was a huge, huge push for me, and it was a lot of fun, but man, it was intense. I hated the game in March because I did the push in February, and I was just like, at the end of February, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to play this game anymore.
Yeah, a lot of grinding. There was
so much pressure.
But I feel like now we are in a uniquely awesome position to do a challenge like this, because the game's kind of in a really fun, weird space right now.
Absolutely. It was just like, when I did it, I also had my day job going on. I had all the other shows going on. I still have all the shows. I'm starting all kinds of new things, but I don't have that 8 hours a day that's dedicated to something that's not Hearthstone. So I can take 4 hours a day now and just play Hearthstone. So I'm so excited. I feel like I can actually do it this time, and it's going to be fun.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
When I did it last time, I had to play Hunter. That was the thing to do. And now it's like you can play 18 different decks and still get to Legend. There's constantly posts on Reddit on either competitive Hearthstone or just the regular Hearthstone Reddit saying, oh, top 50 NA with Face Shaman or mid-range Pally or Control Warrior. It's all over the place. So it's doable in a whole bunch of different ways now. So I'm really excited for this.
Can I ask you one question though? How many of those on on the Hearthstone Reddit do you think are just complete BS?
Well, you can usually tell, because if they're able to write out a whole big guide saying this is what you need to do in these matchups, this is what you mulligan for, this is, where I ended up, and this is what I had problems with, those are the people that are probably legit. If it just says, oh yeah, I hit Legend with Face something.
Yeah.
Totes.
Then it's, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Although I guess
Probably not.
that's picked through, because nobody picks through fraudulence like other frauds. And that is something for which Reddit has in spades. So I guess what we wanted to do here was just sort of talk about announce that we're doing it. It's December 1st.
Yep.
We're going to do it for the December season. The hashtag is the Legend of Jory, Jory. That is the combined powers of Joss and Jury. It's going to be super awesome. You can follow it all on twitch.tv/Jurystone, which actually, crap beans, the one thing I did forget was to get our Twitch chat up, which is like, I know the cardinal
I have Twitch
sin.
chat open. I don't have whatever the other chat is open. So we're covered. Just, I'm watching Twitch. You're watching what, Diamond Club?
Yeah, this is the Diamond Club chat, and then it's just what I have the presets for. But I know it's like the one cardinal sin of Twitch is to not have that chat rocking. That will be fixed. So here we go. Let's go. Let's go to the big board here and take a look.
Oh, that was super pro.
Yeah, right? Let's go ahead and see like what deck. So here, I'm gonna rely on you.
Okay, fair enough.
Because we're gonna play, just also to clear it up for everybody, we are gonna play separate decks.
Yep.
Joss will invariably do much better than me.
You don't know that, dude. I've heard you talk and I've seen some of your stuff. You're a solid player now.
I think I know more. I think I'm a better talker about Hearthstone than I am a player of Hearthstone. Because here's the biggest difference for me. I am a mobile player. I have fallen in love with the game, and I am almost exclusively a mobile player. And it's something that I've found. I think I'm a better streamer of Hearthstone than I am a player of Hearthstone, because I'm constantly distracted with other things because I'm used to kind of having it be a mobile experience. Mm-hmm. So I'm very prone to just making dumb take out the, let me trade because I can do that simple math in my head instead of thinking of like, oh no, this is the smart move this turn as opposed to the next one.
Yeah, see, I am a terrible streamer of Hearthstone because I find I get so distracted by chat that then I make so many mistakes that I would never make if I was just sitting playing Hearthstone. So I still haven't 100% decided what I'm going to actually do with this whole climb, because I do really want to hit Legend. Yeah. I think what I might do is just not stream my climb, but then just do like little updates now and then. And then once I hit Legend,
stream the climb.
Then I'm streaming.
First rule of the Legend of Jory, you gotta stream the climb. You
have
got
to
it.
stream the.
Okay,
you got it, dude.
Listen, we are going. And by the way, everybody, Scotty Bishop, Sparky Shocker, Night Vale, everybody. Hi Joss. I already understand that. Literally, I'm just the Jossettes of this. Yeah. I know where the bread is going to be buttered on this stream.
So now you actually know how Garrett and Dills must feel.
Oh, dude, they got to keep time, snap, do the right turns, and back things up, because that is what it is like to be next to one Jocelyn Moffett. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look.
So have you decided like what you want to do, what deck you might want to play?
No, see, this is what I need your opinion on, because there have been. Really one deck that I've had, I feel that I have a hold on, and that is Dragon Priest.
Okay.
But
solid pick.
Easily, my best class is Mage. And either a Tempo Mage, I think the first deck that I had any kind of traction with was Mech Mage, and lately I've been playing this Casino Mage deck that that Dills turned me on to, which is just the most fun to play. That's
the thing about Casino. It's definitely fun. I don't know how consistent it is.
No. You can... It's one of... basically, all right, so here's been my... here's been my experience on the ladder. Is I can do really, really, really well. I'm competent enough to kind of speed up to about the 12-13 range. And if I've really got my poop together and I'm focusing on what I'm doing, I can get into the single digits. But that's kind of where I stall out. And I think it is one part patience where like I think other people are just paying more attention to the game than I am.
Probably.
One part, I just am not as up on the deck or like what my substitutions at that point should be in terms of teching. And then one part I might just be bad at Hearthstone. There's just the lingering X factor of I might just be garbage at this game.
I don't think so. I refuse to believe that, people just can't conquer Hearthstone. I think it's totally doable. You just have to want it.
You need to feel the power. Okay, so here we go. So what would you, if I wanted to play mage, what do you think is a robust mage deck that would be decent in climbing the ladder?
So I just want to take a second and point out, you clearly have 500 wins on your mage. I don't have a golden hero yet. So I think maybe you're more pro than you realize.
Okay, number one, if you spent as much time on airplanes, where the only thing that airplane Wi-Fi is good for is in Hearthstone, you too would have golden hero powers or golden portraits. I do have 500 wins with mage. I don't know whether or not that really means anything. I think it means that I am good at beating people between the ranks of 20 and 15.
Fair enough. So if you want to start with a mage, because there's basically two big mage archetypes that are popular on ladder right now. You have your freeze mage.
Yes.
But your freeze mage is pretty complicated.
Yeah.
You have to really know when to kind of freeze your opponent, when to kill their minions, what to save, and you have to think a whole bunch of turns ahead because it's very easy to die very quickly as freeze mage.
Yeah. Also, it's like you really are just like it is the winning by accident of hearts. Freeze mage is like, yes, it is very complicated to play, but it's basically like winning a contest because you noticed a typo in the rules or something like that. Like it is a terrible to play against, and I can't imagine it's much fun to play beyond the satisfaction of just like, oh look, I beat you because I thought far enough ahead in like getting my block and my whatever the other secret that they
Barrier.
utilize. So all right, freeze mage, I'm out. I can't bring myself.
So no freeze mage. Okay, so that's
no.
good. So that pretty much leaves us with tempo.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have a good tempo list off the top of my head, but I'm going to find one for you because there's got to be one that's good. So there's usually there's a meta report that comes out every week, and they usually have real good current builds. And the weekly meta reports are going to become really important because we're still in the middle of League of Explorers, so we're going to be getting weekly changes in what cards are available. So
crazy pants, sort of like wild swings, and noticing
exactly.
So what the big card that's going to come out of this week of League of Explorers is Entomb, right?
I think so. Well, this week in League of Explorers is all the Murlocs. So you've got Sir Finley Murgleton.
Sir Finley Murgleton.
Yep, which I am so stoked for. I think I actually might change to Paladin or Shaman and just do a Murloc variant because anything can happen and anything is awesome or everything is awesome. Whatever those cards are, they're going to be so fun.
Oh my god. This was a terrible deck that I made that I don't know why I thought
it was like Stoner Mage.
Stoner Mage. Well, because it was all based around the Summoning Stone.
Oh, the Summoning Stone. Oh, man. You know what? I'm not even going to look up a deck. Let's just try to build a deck. That's more fun.
Yeah, no, that's way more fun.
Okay, so
but this is
get rid of something because I think you have all your deck slots full. Or we're just playing with Stoner Mage?
No. I don't want to do that. I want to delete Secret Paladin because I'm making a political statement. So let's go ahead to full screen so everybody can see what's going on. We will play with Zimage. All right, so a tempo mage again for anybody who is just here watching on DiamondClub.tv or doesn't know a whole lot about Hearthstone. Tempo mage is that you want to be in an advantageous position to play the highest mana card you can every single turn until you get 10. right?
Right. You basically want to consistently make the best use, like get the best value out of your mana, so that you're kind of like always that one step ahead of your opponent. Like you always want them reacting to what you're doing. If you get into a position where you're reacting to them, you've probably already lost.
So all right. So what are good one cost mana worm? Of course,
mana worm
right?
for sure.
We're gonna double that one up.
Yeah, and we're gonna take 2 arcane missiles as well, because we're gonna pair those with our flame waker.
Boom.
Nicely done.
Now, Arcane Blast I've used in a lot of tempo decks, and I've seen Mirror Image, and especially because we've seen a lot of the like Implosion and and Secret Pally, that Arcane Explosion has kind of gotten a little bit more play.
That's true. The mid-range Pally is running I guess it's just a card that gives you the better hero power that then spawns 2 1/1s. Yeah. So that would be good against mid-range as well. So I think you're probably safe taking 1 Arcane Blast and 1 Arcane Explosion, just to give yourself a little bit of versatility.
Let's do that. All right. And then Mirror Image. I saw that used in a couple of the Flame Waker decks early on, but they seem to have fallen out of favor.
Yeah. So you're probably going to want 2 Frostbolts.
Wait a minute.
For sure.
I have a golden Arcane Explosion.
Oh, why are we using regular cards when we could be gold?
Garbage. Okay.
Okay, so you want 2 Frostbolts for sure.
2 Frostbolts.
And you have gold ones. You have gold ones.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, wait, I have 2 gold ones. By the way, Infamous Nex is yelling at me for dragging my cards, because that's what I do when I play it on the iPad. And Unstable
you're gonna
Portal,
want Unstable
right?
Portals, yeah, for sure.
Now, we're going to need that Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yep.
Where are you at? All right, so here we go. Arcane Intellect, 1 or 2?
Just one. Just one.
Where are you at on Tempo Mage Secrets? Because Effigy I saw get played a lot when it came out. I've seen it a little less lately. But when Effigy is on, man, it is like almost worth its mana cost.
So I have kind of mixed feelings about Effigy, because it's the kind of secret that you want to have control of when you play it.
Yeah.
You don't want it to come out of Mad Scientist.
Yeah.
So if you're going to run Mad Scientist, which is pretty much a staple in any mage deck that plays secrets, then you're not going to want Effigy. So it kind of comes down to, do you want to get a free secret off of Mad Scientist, or do you want to run Effigy? If you can play Effigy at the right time and get it late game and get something worth 6, 7, 8 mana, then it's freaking sweet.
But that always seems kind of too precious, right?
Yeah.
Like that always just seems like a weird, but then again, it's like Effigy. I have seen Effigy even like out of Mad Scientist, where it can be the difference in a tempo deck of kind of keeping things rolling or making somebody use removal. If it's just, even if it's a low cost Effigy, it still is annoying enough to do something. But that might just be thinking
the only thing is about a low cost Effigy is that there are so many options in the 1, 2, 3, 4 mana cost cards now that you have a real good chance of getting something that's not so great. There aren't very many cards in the higher mana cost range that are actually like bad minions when they hit the board.
Yeah.
So you're kind of the lower your Effigy goes off, like the smaller the mana cost of the card that's killed when the secret's activated, then the more chance you have of getting something really shitty. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on Effigy. I think maybe what we should do is throw in a couple mirror entities and then see kind of where we shake out and how many card slots we have left at the end. Yeah. And if Effigy will fit, then we'll grab it.
Okay, wait. So here we go. We're tossing 2 mirrors.
I like 2 mirrors personally.
And so that is a no on counterspell.
Some tempo mages are running it, some aren't. I'm trying to think. The really big stuff on ladder, there's not that many spells that are happening. I mean, obviously Druid has their combo.
So Druid has the combo. It also can very much take the nuts out of Secret Pally in those initial.
They do play Blessing. That's true, because Blessing is a pain in the ass.
Blessing or a muster initially that gives you just like enough cover to get some damage in before they can bring out Mysterious Challenger and just have like a board full of horse poop.
Yeah, we'll take one counter, but definitely not two.
Yeah. All right.
You talked me into it.
So just so we are, just to point out, we can only put into what's it called? A Mad Scientist. We have 3 secrets. Yes. So we are saying that one of these is definitely worth that 3 mana cost. Yes. Gotcha. All right. Forgotten Torch. These are all the tools of the filthy freeze mage. These ice barriers.
Yeah, we can skip this page.
This is a gross page, and I am disgusted by it. All right. So here we go. We get into some interesting stuff. I played a tempo deck that used both Counterspell and Spellbender, but that was, I think, right after TGT came out, when some of the aggro pally was super, super hot, and like Spellbender not only kind of worked as like a Bobo counterspell, but also as like you randomly caught a Blessing of Kings and stuff like that, and can kind of turn the tide a little bit. But I'm guessing these are not going to get played. Flamewaker, 2 of them, right?
Absolutely. Since we have 3 secrets, I would also potentially make the argument for Kirin Tor Mage. A 4/3 body isn't bad, and then plus if you get to play a 3 mana secret for free, then that's a pretty good tempo swing.
Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then I have not effed around with Polymorph Boar all that much. It seemed to be something that people were really into initially, and again, it's one of those cards that has kind of gone out of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Spellslinger,
I wouldn't use it.
Spellslinger, though, is to quote Jocelyn Moffett, so hot right now.
It is so hot.
So Spellslinger, 1 or 2?
I think 2. And we got to watch 2 because we've only got 9 slots left.
We do, and we got a lot of stuff that we want.
Yeah, so 2 fireballs for sure. There are certain cards that are just like you always have 2 of, regardless of what kind of mage you're playing.
Now, here is my question. On the issue of Flame Strike, it's has always been a standard in the toolkit, right, of mage, or at least a popular card. A lot of the tempo stuff doesn't necessarily play it, though, because you just need so much momentum, and this is such a defensive card, effective though it might be. Are we flame striking?
We are not flame striking. If you take your whole turn 7 or 8 to flame strike, then that's another time when you've probably already lost the game. You need to be kind of staying ahead of your opponent consistently, and you need that turn 7 to play a Dr. Boom or you know, some other big, huge board threat. You don't want to be just trying to deal with all of your opponent's little stuff.
Although it's like, sometimes you're looking at that big board, that big warlock board of imps, or, you know, the aggro shaman with just a bunch of, you know, like 1/2s or 2/2s because they've buffed their totems, or the secret paladin, and you're like, man, could really use 4 damage to all minions right about now.
I think it's more of a tech card. I think you go into your ladder climb and you see what you're facing, because it's going to change even like rank. I'm not quite sure where you're going to be starting, but if you're looking at, you know, kind of your 20 to 15 ranks in this first week, that's going to be full of legend players doing their climbs. So you know, it's really going to depend. It might be tons and tons of aggro, whereas later in the month you're going to see just all kinds of crazy shit as, you know, everyone else just starts playing with fun stuff. So the meta is going to change at all the different levels as you move up the ladder. So I think it's better to go in and see. And if it is all aggro, if you've got tons of zoo, because I know zoo is probably what I'm going to start the climb off with. So I think a lot of people are really gravitating towards that kind of demon zoo place right now. So if that's what you're seeing consistently and you think that Flame Strike would actually swing a lot more matches your way, I think that's when you include it and you take out something like maybe a mirror entity, or you, because I mean, if you're facing a lot of aggro, you're going to get a lot of like owls
garbage,
and abusive
tiny,
Sarbants and stuff like that. So you might want to take out a mirror entity and take out your Kirin Tor Mage, put in a Flame Strike, you know, put in some of those other tools, maybe a second arcane or Arcane Explosion. I keep wanting to say Arcane Blast, but Arcane Explosion, you know, something to deal with those aggro things early game. But I think that's a choice that you make after you start your climb.
Because that is one of those things where, you know, you are constantly, like with aggro decks, you're just looking for that one moment where they definitely, like, they only really have 2 moves and they all come early. And if you can dodge and avoid or take the lethal drive out of them, then they're pretty much, you know, effed in the A. So
very, very good way to put
it. Conjurer is one of those things where it's like, man, you just wish that body wasn't just hot garbage, right?
Terrible, yeah.
Okay, we're here in the top shelf. Archmage and Ronin are kind of like the dream team pop. They gotta come in the right order, and the meta has to be a little slower for it to actually be effective. What are you thinking here?
Again, I like Ronin, especially in this deck, because you do have your Flame Wakers. If you draw them later, then you have 3 copies of Arcane Missiles that you can use to activate them, and you can just basically explode your opponent's board with all of your freaking missiles and shots off your Flame Wakers. So I think Ronin fits in this deck possibly even a little bit better than Antonidas, although the argument could be made for both of them. But we have seen, at least in the kind of end of November, a much, much slower meta because of Reno Jackson.
Yeah.
So I think you can make the argument.
So what
for
you're saying
both
is, I'm sorry,
cards.
Mr. Jackson, I am for real. All right, so here we go. So Ronin we're looking at.
I'm thinking Ronin, he's a big threat in and of himself, plus he gives you those missiles. And again, Archmage, we can probably go back and see what we have room for after we go through our neutrals, because we don't really have too many minions that we're going to want. We're going to want our mad scientists.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to think. We probably should have 1 silence, so it wouldn't hurt to throw in an owl.
Yeah. Well, here we go. All right, so let's get the stuff that we definitely know is going to be all up in this piece. We want 2 mad scientists.
Yep.
1 iron beak owl.
Yep.
Was there any 1 cost that we skipped over that we want?
I think our major 1 cost card that we're going to be mulliganing for is your mana worms.
Yeah.
Like we pretty much want to throw everything back and get our mana worms right away. So we're kind of looking for like turn 1 mana worm, turn 2 mad scientist, or possibly portal. And then into turn 3, you know, we want to start looking for maybe our intellects or our flame wakers, you know, maybe even our mage if we've got a secret in hand. So I don't think we need too many things in our lower curve. I think we're doing pretty well. I think what we're missing right now is our 4 and 5 drops.
4 5s, yeah. So looking at our curve, we're certainly heavy at 2 3.
Yeah.
It's 4 5 6. That is a bit threadbare. So let's head there. There's nothing Bronzebeard worthy in this deck, right?
No, we don't have anything that's crazy battle cries.
No battle cry. Okay, so let's get to our 4s.
So Mystic is another one that's one of those tech cards that if we're seeing a lot of freeze mage or something like that, we might want to throw that in, but I don't really think we need it right this second.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's like this huge hole in 4 that like I should know this.
Refreshment vendor?
Maybe.
I'm kidding. That's a joke.
I know. Well, I know Garrett plays it, I think, in his Paladin, I want to say.
Yeah.
Twilight Guardian's a really good one, but we don't have any dragons
we
to
don't have any
activate
dragons
him.
activated. And Twilight Drake, it would be something that we would want in another, in a deck where we were holding a lot more cards.
Yeah.
People are saying.
Did we miss Shredder?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we went right. I was like.
Yeah, Jamalama Ding Dong. Thank you so much.
Yeah, always Shredder. Both
shredding.
too.
All right, let's go to 5.
See, now we only have 1 space left, and so I think we've maybe doubled up on some stuff that we shouldn't have.
Well, let's take a look at what else we would want, and then we can make some hard decisions here, because immediately, you got to wonder whether or not Arcane Blast is worth it.
Well, we don't actually have anything that is spell damage, so I would say no, because we're never going to get that bonus.
Plop.
What else we got? We need our 2 mana worms, arcane missiles for the frostbolt portal.
I would almost say
science.
we could try without Arcane Explosion even right now.
Okay.
Unless you think that it's necessary because everything's going to be so ag.
I wonder how much. I haven't really seen much Face Hunter lately. Have you? Because that would be the other one. I've seen a
lot more mid-range Hunter. I mean, I think, yeah, you're looking at that big board flooding Warlock decks and Secret Paladin are pretty much.
Yeah, I think we can try taking. Although Arcane Explosion is also good to kill off some of the 1 health pally stuff and pop a bunch of shields.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, let's leave it.
Yeah, we'll keep it for now.
We've got a Frostbolt.
I think we can probably drop 1 apprentice.
Drop an apprentice.
Yeah, 1 sorcerer's apprentice.
And again, we got the 3 secrets. 3 secrets and 2 mad scientists.
2 scientists, but we do have the Kirintor mage to play the 3rd one for free.
Okay, yeah. So that at least matches up. So now we got 4. We got 4 cards here. Azure Drake seems to be another standard for tempo.
Yes. And, we do have Arcane Intellect. Okay, so that's all right. Because I was going to say we could get into an issue with card draw. So we could either take something early, like Loot Hoarder, or we could take a second Drake.
Let's take a second. Hotline Bling. Azure Drake.
Oh, and Dills is in the chat room and saying, drop Apprentice. Apparently it's pure madness. We had 2, though.
Listen, Dills I'm sure will be a regular here on Legend of Jory. He will and Dills is saying that we're looking at a big Archmage sized hole. Well, listen, let's see. Listen, we can't, as much as we want to respond to the chat room here, we have to, Dills will understand. We have to maintain our sensibility in providing a product for the people. So all right, any other 5s here that we think like for sure? Lotheb?
Lotheb is always a solid take in pretty much anything. Because I know we're gonna want Dr. Boom. We can't not have Boom. So
yeah, no, the Boom's gonna give it to you. So all right. So yes to you want to know what? We only got 2 more cards, or it's two more slots, and then and we're already getting a lot of flack for stuff that we might have already left out.
Yeah.
All right. 6 is Emperor.
I think we do without him for now. He's really powerful, but man, we're so close to 30.
Exactly. So here we go, and we are definitely running a little bit low on time because you got to be ready for the Patreon call.
I gotta go in about 10 minutes.
So let's burn and get through this. Grand Crusader has been is just a really, really good card. No matter what, Justicar Trueheart is like among my favorite things, but is not a great mage card in terms of its bonus. Grand Crusader, see? Oh no.
No.
All right. Blah, 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 blah.
Sylvanas is also real solid.
So let's Sylvanas. Here we go. And then 7. You know him. You love him. He's number 7 on his mana cost, but number 1 in your hearts. Dr. Boom. That's 30 cards.
So I think maybe we swap Ronan out for Antonidas. Maybe swap out a Spellslinger to put the Apprentice back in, maybe.
Put the Apprentice. Take that slang out. Okay.
Yeah. So go back to your mage cards.
So now what made you flip flop on Dills's pressure here on Archmage?
He gives me so much pressure. We have a lot of spells. We have a lot of spells. So the only thing we don't have is any spare parts, which usually combos really nicely with him. But we do have 3 or 4 1-mana spells.
Now here's where
right, because we did drop one.
Now here is where I tend, and people are just yelling bad stuff. This is what happens when we show weakness here. We show weakness. And we say, okay, fine, we'll listen to Dills, right? And now we just get Refractal Studios. You got to put in a Goldshire Footman. You got to put in Target Dummy. This is what happens when you show weakness, folks. Never let them see you sweat on Twitch. They will tear you apart. All right, so Archmage, Dills is screaming and yelling, this is our finisher. I totally agree, and I understand. The other element is, okay, so we took out the sling because we want another sorcerer. Which I've always played tempo decks with sorcerers. Here's the last thing that we'll do before you got to run off. The biggest issue that I have whenever we're playing these kinds of decks is I tend to use my low-cost spells fairly early to make sure that I am keeping board control. And I guess if I'm going to evaluate a weakness of mine is I don't trust the value of the mana cost cards that you're playing, that people will like come to them and clear the board themselves, and I don't have to take proactive pressure. Is that something that I need to pay attention to when playing these kinds of tempo decks?
Absolutely. When you're playing tempo, you always want to be like trading up or putting a big enough threat out there that you're forcing them to trade. You don't ever want to, be kind of trying to keep their board clear at all times. You're looking for the constant value. Also, chat room saying only 1 Frostbolt. There should be 2.
Well, then we got to drop something else.
Oh no! How did that? Oh man!
Yeah, we do only have 1 Frostbolt. We got 2
Bad
Arcane
News Bears.
Missiles,
We need 2 of those for sure.
Mana Worm. Yeah, especially with 2 Sorcerer's Apprentice. Frostbolt's just too powerful to not have in there.
Frostbolt is so core.
All right, then what goes? We got, Arcane Missiles. Do we need 2 of them?
I still like 2 Arcane Missiles, especially where we've got Flame Waker and Archmage. They just go so well.
Dills also made the argument to drop Kieran for Emperor.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't like Kieran Tor.
Well, you want to know what? He can suck on it and like it. Because we're playing Kieran. And by the end of this, when I'm Legend, I will buy him a case of the Japanese beer to celebrate.
All right, chat room is really not loving Kieran Tor, so... We need to get that Frostbolt back in there, so
cut Kieran for Frostbolt?
Yeah.
Man, I just went on this whole thing. I doubled down on Kieran, and look what happened. Immediately.
You don't have to listen to me.
No. We're supporting each other. we are giving each other good counsel. This is what Legend of Jory is all about. Okay.
Well, if you want good counsel, then you've probably got the wrong partner here, dude.
Listen, this is the kind of lack of self-esteem that I will not tolerate in a partner. All right? Here we go. We're gonna call this hashtag Jory. That will be our deck for right now. Now, is there anything else? The things that I would not normally play are 3 spells. Especially now because we just dropped Kieran, so we only have 2 ways to get him out mega cheap.
We do have 2 sorcerers though, so there is a chance that they could be 2 costs instead of 3 costs.
2 costs instead of 3 costs. The only thought I would have is dropping 1 and putting an Emperor because that value though.
That's true. Yeah, we could drop a mirror and because I do like counterspell. You totally sold me on counterspell, so we could drop the mirror and put in an Emperor.
And then about that Emp though. Emp. Flop. Oh, wait, did I screw up? But he's 6 cost, right?
Yeah, he's 6.
There we go. And I'm dragging and dropping because that's the life I live. All right. Well, there we go. We've got a deck here. You have to get ready for the Angry Chicken call-in show.
I do.
For which I am a patron, and I will wait with bated breath to watch it. Thank you so much. When did we decide when we are going to actually stream?
I don't know if we've decided streams. We've decided at 4:00 on Mondays and Thursdays, we're going to do like a little update. So we're going to do this. We're going to kind of do a little playing together and talk you through decks,
Gotcha.
talking about what we're seeing on the ladder, where we are at that point, all that kind of stuff. So
Mondays and Thursdays
updates.
Before the TAC programming.
Yes, exactly.
We are going to lead in to TAC. Awesome. Well, thank you, Joss, and everybody. Go ahead and what is your Twitch?
I'm Joss Plays on Twitch, so that's JOCE Plays.
And I am Jurystone. If you're watching on her channel, and hopefully here we go. The road begins.
Legend.
Exactly. So Thursday, I guess we'll go over what deck you are working with, and we will see how far we've come.
Excellent.
Awesome possum. All right. See you later, guys.
Who cares that I